From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening. Tougher Tasmanian knife laws are closer to reality after a constructive meeting with the Police Minister and Commissioner. It would allow officers to perform random searches with metal detectors, modelled on a similar crackdown in Queensland.
Since losing her son Reed to a stabbing attack at the hands of a 16-year-old 5 years ago, Lorraine Ludwig's been on a mission.
There obviously is a problem with knives and other dangerous weapons, and we need, as a community, to come together to make change.
Brett and Belinda Beasley embarked on a similar journey when their son Jack was killed in Surfers Paradise, educating school kids but also fighting for Jack's Law, giving Queensland Police the power to perform random metal detector searches for knives. Since its introduction early last year, almost 1,000 weapons have been seized in public places. New South Wales, WA and Victoria are now all following suit.
We've proved that Jack's Law works. We'll never know exactly how many lives have been saved, but we know it works, we know it detects knives, we know it saves lives, and we know that our community is now a safer place.
This afternoon, Lorraine got her wish, a meeting with Tasmanian Police Minister Felix Ellis, supported by the Beasleys and Queensland counterpart Mark Ryan, lobbying to bring Jack's Law here, in a bid to make it easier for police to clear weapons off our streets too.
We had a very constructive meeting, which I think will allow us to work together to make the Tasmanian population safer in the long term.
We don't yet know how long it will take to make the changes or what the next steps will be, but the Queensland Government is offering to help guide the process, as it's done for other states.
We're happy to share all of the data, all of the evidence that we've got, all of our learnings to ensure that wherever Jack's Law is implemented, it's done well.
We offered Felix Ellis an interview, but he wasn't available. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's Macquarie Point Stadium is set to be for more than just AFL. New design renderings released today showing how the space could be used to host concerts and major events. Yet the multi-million-dollar project continues to cop backlash. The Yes in My Backyard group calling for details on how the upgrades will create better housing and transport options for locals. Meanwhile, the Greens are putting pressure on the Tasmanian government to protect Hobart's cenotaph, drafting a bill at the request of RSL Tasmania, which is unhappy about the proposed stadium and its impact on sightlines. Residents can have their say on the bill over the next 6 weeks.
Standalone legislation that protects the values of the cenotaph, irrespective of the development and irrespective of where that development is located.
The state government says it's a political stunt to stop the stadium going ahead. Labor is calling on the state government to come clean over looming cuts to education in the upcoming budget. It claims more than $75 million could be slashed over the next 3 years as part of a $300 million efficiency dividend.
We know education in Tasmania is lagging the nation, and public service cuts to our education system are going to make it worse.
The state government says Labor is pulling figures out of thin air but has refused to detail how much money will be cut from government agencies. A captivity program aimed at addressing the population decline of the Maugean skate is being hailed a success. The first egg has hatched and more are on the way, a promising sign for the unique species which calls Macquarie Harbour home.
It's only small, but could mean big things for the future of the endangered Maugean skate.
It's one tiny hatchling, but it shows that we can keep these animals in captivity.
It's the first time an egg laid in captivity is hatched at the Taroona breeding site. The fertile female laying 108 eggs since December, with 70 tracking well. But they won't be able to bolster the Macquarie Harbour population just yet.
You can't just put them in and expect them to be able to cope with those conditions. So we'll have to do acclimation.
That involves subjecting hatchlings to lower oxygen levels typically found in the harbour. Oxygen is the main source of concern for the species' survival. The cause of its depleted quantities in its only home continues to make waves.
It's quite clear the federal scientific advice to the Federal Environment Minister Plibersek is that there should be an urgent reduction or removal of fish farms from within Macquarie Harbour.
The government is absolutely of the mind that the Maugean Skate and the salmon industry can coexist and coexist happily.
The program hasn't been without its challenges. 2 of 4 adults captured in December died in captivity almost immediately due to underlying conditions.
Investigating what happened, we actually now have better screening capabilities, so when we next need to go get adults, we'll know things to look out for.
More hatchlings are expected over coming weeks. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Stories of young at-risk Tasmanians will be thrust into the spotlight when hundreds gather for the JCP Youth Beast Gala Ball in Launceston later this month. The annual event raises vital funds for the organisation's mentorship program, supporting boys between the ages of 11 and 17.
Camps, activities, and even providing additional support such as clothing and food for young people that would otherwise go without.
So our gala is here to really celebrate the young people that we work with, and it's also a way for us to thank the community.
Organisers are hoping to smash last year's fundraising total of $115,000. Overwhelmed by homelessness on the streets of Launceston, a group of young Tasmanians has decided to do something about it. They're staging a marathon this weekend to raise funds to help those living rough.
In training for a 24-hour walk and run marathon to raise much-needed funds for Launceston's homeless community. The event, which will see participants do laps around the seaport, is dedicated to helping those who don't have a proper roof over their head. It's the brainchild of social worker Kia Parrish and her mates at Method Plus Action Gym, with all funds raised going to charity Strike It Out.
To be completely honest, in Launceston there isn't a lot of support for the homeless. Strike It Out is an amazing organisation and they do a lot and go above and beyond.
Strike It Out has been making a significant impact by providing essential services such as warm clothing, blankets and food to those in need. Their work over the winter months a virtual lifesaver for those living rough.
Homelessness is only an ever-growing issue here in Launceston. We've seen an increase in people needing our support for anything from tents, sleeping bags, food and accommodation support.
As a social worker, Kia sees the hidden homelessness.
I think that there's a growing need for support, and I don't think the support that we have currently meets the need.
Kirsten Ritchie understands the growing crisis.
How are you supposed to get up in the morning and go to work when you're homeless, living in a tent or living in your car?
Those who want to join the 24-hour walk or run from 10 a.m. Saturday or donate should contact Method Plus Action. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
Cancer Council Tasmania has teamed up with the Southern Football League to hold the inaugural Daffodil Day round on Saturday. SFL President David O'Byrne hopes the partnership will have a lasting impact on the community.
So across every SFL ground and game over this weekend, we will have an opportunity for clubs to express their support for the Cancer Council, but also raise money and important funds and awareness around the issue of cancer.
We know that there are hundreds of people involved in the SFL every weekend, from the players to the coaches, umpires, the administrators, and we know that most people will have a story, a cancer story.
Cancer Council Tasmania will also provide tailored prevention and awareness campaigns for SFL clubs.
No Jack McVeigh, no worries, is the message from the Jack Jumpers, confident they can back up their maiden NBL championship. Club mates say one of the newest signings will more than fill the void as our imports arrive in Tasmania for the pre-season.
With the 2024 Premiership title now in the Jack Jumpers' rear mirror, the focus on this season is hitting top gear.
This is a new year, a new opportunity for all of us. We got some new pieces coming in.
Players refreshed and rejuvenated after a well-deserved break.
It's been good. Got a chance to go to Puerto Rico, play a little bit, then went home, see some family, and just chill, recover.
The Jackies' latest import, Craig Sword, settling in nicely, ready to call Tasmania home.
It's been great. The weather's good. I'm adjusting to everything right now, so it's been a great 3-4 days since I've been.
Team insiders assuring fans the newbie will be a major asset in defending the island.
He's one of the best on-ball defenders I've seen in the game of basketball.
While they'll be without star forward Jack McVeigh, the Ant Army's confident it will march on and other players will step up.
Obviously Jack's a huge part of us. He's got to be missed dearly, bringing guys that are gritty, guys that want to play here.
Players turning their attention to the pre-season camp in the state's north and northwest.
A lot going on. I'm excited about it. You don't get a chance to travel like this in your career, so just to see the different faces, play against different competition.
They'll host the Adelaide 36ers in 2 pre-season clashes in 2 weeks, hoping to solidify their first block of pre-season training.
Like I said, it's a great team already.
Behind the wheel and ready to drive home more glory for the island. Rebecca Gadneris, 7 Tasmanian News.
After his efforts with the bat yesterday, rookie Nick Davis was elevated to opener for the Tigers' top-end T20 clash with Bangladesh A last night, scoring 30 off 23 balls. Jake Doran scoring 71 off 37 as the Tigers made it to a 5-wicket victory with 3 balls to spare. Already guaranteed finals, OHA women are confident they can secure a spot in the Premier League hockey's top 2, but they won't be taking any chances against the Bulldogs this weekend, who are also looking to claw up the ladder.
They're a very good side, lots of strength through that middle, very physical. I think they're maybe 1 point behind us on the ladder, so we're expecting a really close match.
Meanwhile, OHA men are hoping next year will be more promising, stuck at the bottom of the ladder following a 6-goal thrashing against University.
Very tough season. Look, I think just trying to link up and find the right formula that works for us is our key. Heading probably now towards next year is the main thing.
There's only 3 rounds to go in the regular season. And nearing the end of his 3rd season driving full-time, Thomas Randall thinks he's closing in on a maiden supercars win at Symmons Plains this weekend. He's sitting 7th in the standings after a roller coaster season, but thinks he now has the Tassie track down pat.
The biggest thing with Tassie is the braking. Turn 1, 2, you sort of go over a rise, over a bump. Turn 4, the hairpin, it's a really heavy braking, and then turn 6 after a really long back straight. Again, hard braking.
Supercars are coming to Hobart tomorrow for the very first Hobart Street Party. You'll be able to see the cars, team transporters and get a signature from your favourite driver. That's 3 till 6 tomorrow afternoon. And then Murph, they're heading up to Launceston on Thursday afternoon for the same thing.
And of course, Symmons Plains, Nick, I reckon that'll be a racetrack that Randall can handle for sure. Thanks for that. And being inspired from a recent blockbuster movie, Kaya Wicks will join us after the break with the weather.
Good evening. Hobart exceeded their top today, managing 21 degrees. Launceston 17, 15 for Devonport and 14 for Burnie. 21 also recorded today on Flinders Island and also at Grove. King Island and Bushy Park both 20, Strawn 19, 18 for St Helens and Friendly Beaches, 17 at Smithton, Maria Island 16 and 13 for Laiwini. Scattered high-level cloud moved over Tasmania from the northwest today as patchy low cloud persisted about parts of the state. A cloud band sits to the west as a band of thick cloud stretches over the majority of eastern Queensland and coastal New South Wales. Tomorrow, a trough will push over Tasmania as areas of low pressure reside over southeastern Queensland and southern WA. North to northwesterly winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the west and south during the early morning. They'll tend west to northwesterly in the afternoon and evening with westerly swells at 3 metres. The Bureau have issued a strong wind warning for coastal waters about the southwest coast for Wednesday. And here comes the rain in the south. Hobart 18, 16 the top for both Geeveston and Bothwell. Showery also for the north, Launceston 18, easing showers for Devonport 16 and 17 the maximum for Cressy. Easing showers for Burnie and Strawn 15, also a few showers for Curry, 17 there. 18 and partly cloudy for St Helens, 18 also for Swansea and Alford with showers on the way. Forecast now for Thursday. Foggy conditions followed by isolated showers statewide, although more widespread about the west and the north. No change to Friday with showers expected to continue statewide. And much the same for a sleepy Saturday with showers conditions likely across our island state. We'll take a look now at mainland conditions tomorrow. Rain on the way for Sydney and Brisbane, 21 for both Melbourne and Adelaide. Broome can look forward to a fine and sunny 32 degrees. Partly cloudy right now. Hobart 16 degrees, a little cooler in Launceston with 12, and partly cloudy and 11 in Devonport. That is all on the weather set this evening, Murph.
Thanks very much for that, Kaya. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. And that's all our news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.